Good afternoon, Internet. Total cold open here. I haven't rehearsed or planned anything, so we're going to see how this goes. Haven't made a video in a while. I think the last one was when I was talking about philosophy and how I get through life. I think the camera's crooked. Yeah. Maybe that's a little better. And what was the first? I spent the first half of that video talking about the story idea that I had. That idea, that story, is now sitting right around 8,000 words, where I kind of petered out. I do know what I want to happen next, but I'm still debating in my head the best way to make it happen. And additionally, I had to stop because I had a paper to write for a class instead of a story to write for myself. So that is kind of in a holding pattern while I decide exactly how I want to go about what happens next, which frankly in the editing stage is just going to disappear anyway. What else has happened recently? This is really boring. This is why I write stuff down that I want to talk about before I actually sit down and start ranting. Because stuff like this happens, where I end up either just staring into space or talking to the camera about how I have nothing to talk to the camera about. I know what something I wanted to complain about. A friend of mine who plays D&D was trying to get us into it a couple of months back, and he sent us all a program to build a character for 4th edition. Now, I'm only passingly familiar with D&D itself and how it works. I understand how it works. I understand how role-playing works. And I'm at least a little bit interested, but that attempt was kind of disastrous when one of the adventurers in our party found out that he could be a changeling, transform as a free action, and align himself as chaotic evil immediately. I think you can see where that went. And it ended with our DM, who was the guy who was trying to get us into it, throwing up his hands and dropping a beholder on us. So, that particular adventure went very, very poorly. But, personally I never lost interest, and recently, whenever I would be bored, unable to fall asleep, and unable to write anymore, I would take the time to roll up a character with this little character builder, because I still had it. And I have no idea if I'll ever do anything with any of them, but hell, I've got them now, so why not? Maybe I'll start poking around and see if I can find a local D&D club, make some new friends. But the point that I'm getting to with this is that I'm not overly familiar with D&D, but one thing I was familiar with, one thing I think a lot of people are familiar with, is the alignment system. It's the 3x3 grid that rates your character on 2 different alignments, good versus evil, and lawful versus chaotic. And that gives you 9 sections, from lawful good to chaotic evil. But in 4th edition, they changed that. That little drop-down program, I tried typing in chaotic good, and it immediately called me a faggot and told me I couldn't use that house-ruled character. Because apparently chaotic good is now a house rule. The 5 available alignments from the drop-down are now lawful good, good, unaligned, evil, and chaotic evil. If you need any help, I'm going to help you out. That's bullshit. I have no idea what was going through the designers' minds when they did that. The alignment system was not hard to understand, and while it had its flaws, it was still diverse enough to promote generally interesting gameplay. A Knight Templar of a lawful good alignment and a psychotic killer of chaotic evil, yeah, they're diametrically opposed. but there's a hell of a lot of difference between the psychopathic man-child of chaotic evil and the, I don't know, Lex Luthor of lawful evil. It's a massive difference, and it was one that I always found very interesting. Chaotic good is always a lot of fun. Wanderers like Jack Sparrow strike me as chaotic good, scorning the law at every turn, but still generally a good person. That's the kind of thing that makes role-playing interesting. You pick an alignment and stick to it, finding ways to make chaotic evil still make sense. Because that was actually the biggest problem with chaotic evil, is when you choose that, you have to just be as big a dick as you possibly can and stab people, and I mean, nobody's going to want to be anywhere around you. They're just going to fall in and kill you instantly. So you would have to have some kind of control, some kind of reign. Or, you know, they'll either kill you or your game will end like ours did. So I don't understand why. I do know they simplified a lot of things in 4th edition to make it more friendly to new players. And I can't fault the company for that. But I can fault them for dumbing down the alignment system, because that's what it is. This isn't just a simplification of confusing rules. This is, we think you people are too retarded to figure out how this is supposed to work, so let me make it easier for you. And I don't like that. So, hopefully if I ever do get into D&D, maybe those guys will let me get away with a house-ruled character that's otherwise completely legal, but is marked chaotic good. That's how I want to play my bard, damn it. He was only heavily inspired by the great Tandem the Spoonie. That was about all I had in mind. It's early December. My birthday's in a little less than a week. I have no plans yet. I think I'll just go to dinner with the family. I'll make a video on my birthday. That's another couple of days. And it'll force me to come up with something else to talk about. Hopefully it'll be a little more interesting than this one. It's just me, well, I guess most of these videos are just me ranting about stuff no one cares about, but isn't that the point of a vlog? Let's be honest. I've flat out run out of things to say, so I'm not going to waste my time or yours any longer. Have a nice day, Internet. This is /Echo, signing off.